Hi, this is Linda Shea with Drilling Contractor. I'm at the 2019 IADC Advanced Rig Technology Conference in Amsterdam. I have with me Mr. John Clegg, who is Weatherford's Fellow for Drilling. John, thank you for being here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So at our conference here, most of the presentations are around how to use automation to improve drilling efficiency, which is commonly interpreted as reducing the time from spud to spud or drilling faster. So I understand that you actually advocate for measuring that efficiency a little bit differently. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, first of all, there's nothing wrong with drilling fast and maximizing ROP. It's played a huge role in the last few years in reducing break-even costs, which has been vital to the health of our industry since 2014. But I think in order to maximize the value of our reserves, we need to look at things a little bit differently. And the analogy I like to use is a race car driver. In order to win a race, you have to drive as fast as you can. That's a given. But you also have to drive in the right place. You have to follow the driving line. And you have to stay on the right part of the track, otherwise you'll be overtaken. And I think there's an analogy there with drilling. I mean, we don't just have to drill the well as fast as possible, we also have to get it in the right place in terms of pay and maximize the effective length of a lateral if we're drilling a lateral. And we also need to minimize tortuosity and maximize wellbore quality. Poor tortuosity can cause problems with drilling, with cementing, with completions, with damage to production equipment like rods and DSPs, and even it can hold back production and cause ultimate production from a reservoir to be reduced.
So if wellbore quality is a more important KPI for operators as you're advocating, then what are the roles that directional drilling technologies can play?
Well, first of all, it starts and ends with the rig. It's already possible using rigs to control tool face of steerable motors using the top drive. But I think ultimately we'll be using rotary steerables downhole in autonomous drilling systems. And the reason for that is that they're able to close the loop in terms of direction downhole. Now, in order to be able to use rotary steerables to autonomously drill to geologic targets, there are two key things I think that have to happen. One of them is that rotary steerables need to become more accessible, and by that I mean the cost of ownership and the cost of operation has to come down. And people are working on that. In the last year I've been involved with commercialization of a rotary steerable system for Weatherford, which was specifically designed to minimize cost per foot and also importantly to maximize utilization, which has been a bugbear of previous generations of rotary steerable systems. And then the second thing we have to do is to be able to encode the interpretation and evaluation of geologic sensors downhole so that the tool can interpret where the pay is, where the hydrocarbons are, and what the geology is. And then we come back to the surface by controlling telemetry to and from this system from the rig automatically and using surface systems to maximize drilling efficiency and control pressure through MPD systems, for example.
So what are the challenges? Why aren't we doing this now?
Well, there are technical challenges, but they are surmountable. I think the biggest challenge is understanding the value. I have a background in product development, and in order to start a product development process, you first have to have a value proposition and understand how money is going to be made from it. And that generally comes from understanding value to the customer. When we're drilling wells, we tend to think in terms of the depth time curve or feet per day or cost per foot. And those things drive us towards just trying to optimize ROP. If the industry was to develop KPIs around truly understanding the value of the reservoir as we were drilling, that would allow us to understand the real value of what we're doing. That would allow us to generate the value statements that we need to be able to launch technology projects, and then that's going to get the technology that we need developed.
Well, thank you so much for being here, John, for sharing your insights with us.
Thanks, enjoyed it.
And thank you, viewers, for joining us on drillingcontractor.org.